all the members that are here?
Yep. You have a quorum, so you're
We
good.
have a quorum, good.
So I make a
Okay.
motion to approve the minutes. It looks really, really good.
Okay,
I'll second.
any additions or corrections to the minutes?
That was the fastest meeting on the record last time we were here.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, Public Works. Anybody here for Public Works? No?
I was just trying to pull up their last report. I know when it warmed up just a bit, they gave Pierre Marquette a good mow, just hopefully for the end of the season there, so they can work on some other stuff. Nothing. Otherwise, they're just making sure all the equipment's in order so that it's ready for next year. That was part of Steve's report at our last Alderman meeting, is that it, making sure the mowers are ready to go for the start of next year and not waiting on all that, so.
And so he said he couldn't make it tonight. They're doing Christmas decorations. That's our focus for the whole week. So they'll be decorating down at Main Street Park.
Because you got the Christmas swap this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Or next, or coming
No,
up
this
soon.
weekend.
Next
Coming
weekend.
weekend.
This
Yep.
weekend.
Oh, wow, already.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Old business. Fundraising, we were supposed to have a meeting and
Yeah, I couldn't find my.
we
paper.
couldn't remember what day it was. And, and you need to send me that person's name and,
Again?
I didn't get it this last
Now
time.
that you're retired, you can have all the time in the world to meet.
Okay.
Send it to me.
I'll send it to you again, and I'm gonna put a reply note on there.
Okay,
So I make
did
sure
you
you-
email it to me?
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Send it on a carrier pigeon.
Did you check your trash,
No.
your spam?
File 13.
Bet that's where it's at.
Okay, so we are going to get at it first of the year and
And this time we mean it.
we'll try and set up a time that we can both remember. Okay, the trail,
So we have begun the process of trying to find an engineer to draft do the designs of the trail. We have to advertise it 3 weeks in the newspaper. We've gone through one, we've got 2 more weeks to go. And then we'll send that name that we recommend to the Board of Aldermen to hire. It's a qualifications process, not a proposal where you take the bottom line number. So a little different process. So we're going to go through that. We'll get it to the board, get the engineer going. We're doing the environmental review right now. That is very difficult and has not been a lot of fun for the last 2 weeks. So we'll just keep hammering away on it. I mean, it is very detailed on archaeological, environmental, history, just a number of things that they want to cover that you just have to do because it's federal money. If we're just digging it up ourselves, we just dig it up and go because we know there's nothing there. But just in case, we have to go through this process. So we're looking at engineering next year, probably take 6 months to draft the plans, get them approved, and then sent off to the state for their approval. We won't make any progress until they approve the plans, give us the right to proceed, and we can start going out for, once they do that, the plans are drafted, they approve them, then we can go out for bids from a contractor. So you're probably a year away from seeing any construction at all.
But at least we're on the right track. I mean,
We're in the pipeline.
Yeah,
oh yeah, that's a good
yeah,
start.
it's, the money has been allocated, I mean, it's there, so it'll stay there until, unless we somehow fail to do what we need to do, but we're not going to.
Which we won't.
and how much did we get?
So the total for the project is $75,000, and we got, I think 60% of that.
Yeah,
from the feds.
the federal award is $43,925, and we'll be responsible for matching $29,785 of that.
Part of that is in kind, part of it is the money that we received from the community foundation.
Yeah.
So there's $20,000 that was dedicated there.
And we get $11,400 a year from the tower rental, so we'll be able to make that match. And then, if you'll remember, getting this section done is kind of critical to being able to plan the other amenities in that area. We're kind of stuck on playground until we know what elevation that trail is going to come in at. Same with making changes to the new restrooms, because we want to spin that around. If we got to do some different groundwork there, we want to know where that elevation is going to come in to make sure the walkways match up at an accessible, as accessible as possible. So this is really the first big step in getting this plan implemented.
Yeah, which is a big deal.
It is.
Yeah.
Everything
And
has to
it's
start
a
somewhere and it's
small
going.
section of the trail.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so there's still some things that we can kind of keep in mind throughout this next year of small things to show progress. Maybe it's getting the pavilion painted. I know we've got a few tables budgeted for the pavilion area, so we can start swapping those picnic tables out. But just kind of be thinking about small projects that can make an impact in that park, because we are 2 years since this plan has been adopted and we haven't been able to, or we haven't implemented anything just yet. So showing the public even small things will go a long way, especially since we're about a year out from construction of this trail.
Do you hire someone to do the painting, or is that?
With that pavilion, I think I would, because
We probably need somebody to sandblast it first.
yeah, and some other things to be considered is if we want to redo any of the electrical in there, lighting, things like that, that would all be good to plan out ahead of getting in there painting and stuff. So, if it makes sense to have the outlet box down here where people would likely set up their cookware, right? Their crock pots and things like that. If we have enough room on the ceiling of that to put in some fans or something. I don't know that there is, but whatever changes we want to make to that pavilion, we want to think about that ahead of time, because you don't want to paint it and then take down the wiring and here's a strip we got to repaint and match. And
Is it still the protocol if somebody wants to use the pavilion, they gotta fill out paperwork at City Hall?
yeah.
Only the big pavilion.
Okay. I was just curious how often it is used,
In 2020, it got used a lot, of course, because people were looking for outdoor spaces. I think over the years, it's kind of been a little bit of a last resort for the outdoor pavilions. But if we start implementing the changes we want,
It'll be more inviting for people to come in,
absolutely. So,
and that's what we want.
and when the public starts seeing the changes there, they'll remember it's an option. So, sometimes I think it's forgotten.
Yeah, but while we're on the trail, is this something we can apply for every year?
We can apply for it every year. I'm not sure how successful it will be.
Well, right. I mean, obviously, we probably will if we can.
Yeah.
But we just kind of need to be able to get a section done and whatever, and then maybe a year later, get the next section.
So we put it into phases. That's how we classified it with
Oh,
the
okay.
state. So yes.
So this particular money that we got, is this something we applied for before and did not get it, and we just happened to?
We applied for it before, was not successful in the first application, and then we worked with the Donzies on the second application, and I think with their help, we kind of narrowed it down to the specifics that the state wanted to see,
Okay.
and
That's
and I think we hit it at the right time too, because all of the projects were approved this past year.
Have Dick and Mary been notified? Okay, great.
So we could go ahead and apply for another section this year or next year.
It would be end of this year we'd apply. I think it's June when it comes out. March. It's sometime.
Okay.
We'll see.
It hasn't hurt to.
And I'll ask if it's, if those in the state feel that it's, you might want to wait a year just to, not overdo it.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Yeah, we give
I
it
mean,
to-
while we're in the process, what I'm thinking is when we get everything approved for this first section, then go ahead and apply. At that point, apply for the next section, rather than every year they're
That would
gonna
be-
go,
that
well,
would be
wait a
every other
minute.
year then.
I'm
You
pretty
know,
sure the Benzies will advise us correctly,
Yeah.
whether
Well,
it's
Oh,
something
yeah.
we wanna push or
Yeah.
something we wanna
Right.
back off.
Well, their knowledge is much more
Oh,
current
absolutely.
than mine, but I can tell you that it's a normal human expectation that different communities develop different reputations in the state office. And if we do our job well and we get it on time and it goes smoothly, all that stuff, that will just have a sort of a positive effect on
Right.
future future applications.
Yeah, and the completion of this grant is 2025. I don't know if we said that yet in the meeting, but
Yeah, if we get it done in 2024, which is my estimation, then I think that puts us ahead. Apply again.
Okay, anything else on the trail?
Cool.
Playground, we're just waiting on that one section. And the bathrooms? Yeah,
Are the bathrooms at Valley Springs are officially closed?
Everything's closed.
And what's the latest on the cameras, or still
I
nothing?
think they're up.
You get 'em
They
up.
are
I
up?
don't know. I haven't talked to them. I haven't been by.
We bought
just
the
yet.
equipment, I know
I know
that.
last month you said it's in,
Yeah.
so I wasn't
It
sure.
had arrived. I haven't checked to see if they were up, and I hadn't
Unlooked.
talked to Steve about it yet.
any other old business?
Do we still have a curfew for the city park? I mean, is there still?
All the parks are sunrise to sunset except for Pierre Marquette, and that is I think it's 5 to 11, 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. according to our ordinances. So
Do kids still do laps in the park? I mean, I don't even, I'm so far gone.
Only if you make them.
Huh?
Only if you make them.
No, I know that used to be the thing.
The driving
back in
laps.
the day.
Oh.
No, I mean like
Running
drive
laps.
Nobody's
around.
running.
That used to
Only
be-
cross country's running
You're talking
laps.
about cruising.
Oh, yeah, that used to be the thing.
You'll
Our kids, St. Jane kids will meet up in the park and God knows what happens, but no, we're not talking about running laps, I'm talking about driving.
You'll see. You'll see a lot of side by sides drive through. Actually, since 2020, park usage just visually from I try to get up there a couple times a week, just driving through at least, or go up there and use the park. Visually, it looks like the usage of the park is up overall. Like there's a really nice fall day not too long, a few weeks ago. And saw a few people, like a family up at the basketball court, and somebody was riding their bike through the park, and somebody's walking their dog, another couple people are jogging, and a couple of the picnic areas were being used. And that was all like on I think it was like a Friday evening or Saturday afternoon, something like that, so.
I see a lot of people on the trail. I do the trail all the way around. I see a lot of people on that and doing that disc golf.
Disc golf.
Yeah, Alliance is doing a great job of keeping that trail as wide as possible with the, the grass can overgrow on that asphalt pretty easily, and that's been a big issue in the past, but they've been really good about weed eating that trail, keeping it wide, and I think that's been attractive for the community to come and use it a little bit more. But
You're gonna blink and it's gonna be March and then spring sports start, and it's gonna be back to being used quite a bit.
and Valley had their CAC league over the fall, and they just wrapped that up a while back, and Alliance got the nets put away and things like that, so.
Okay. The Good News Community Church, they are gonna use
Yeah, they'll use
Okay.
it on Saturday.
on Saturday, okay,
Kids ordinance.
okay. And then anything about the county fair parade, we talked about last,
As far as I know, they approved, but they haven't published it yet if they want to change the route of the parade. But they did take it to the board and discussed it.
okay.
Yeah. So you'll probably get more updates on that as the parade draws near next year.
Okay. any new business?
With the Christmas walk downtown, what is expected of the city? Like, what is, beside making sure nobody's parked on either side when they come through, I mean, what are you guys supposed to do? Is there anything beside maybe the lights, put them up and make sure bathrooms are clean, you know what I mean, garbage containers out? What else is expected of the city?
So we clean the streets, obviously we run a street sweeper out there, we put up the lights at the welcome center, all the wreaths that are on the light
Yeah.
poles. Besides that, we're advertising for it, that's our other biggest
really about
part of it, is through tourism, we put it out there that it's happening. Otherwise, and then Rolf is in charge of the
Yeah.
whole affair, and she takes care of everything. So, and then, well, the mayor will direct people on how to get in line at
Yeah.
for the parade.
Yeah.
He gets them timed.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
And the city administrator will be riding in the parade,
Oh,
so
I'm sure you will.
make sure he tosses you some candy.
Think about buying, do I have to buy candy?
No, I don't think so.
You not feel cold.
Put it on your
It's a
expense
line
report.
item budget.
Put it on your expense report.
Yeah.
What is the forecast for Saturday? I haven't even
It's
looked.
supposed to be nice Saturday.
It's supposed to be like upper
Yeah,
forties,
supposed
low
to be,
fifties.
yeah.
It's cloudy, but
That's
still,
what it was
for
today, it was beautiful.
December. Now, the last couple of years, we've had great weather on Saturday. It was
Mhm.
sunny and in the sixties.
Yeah.
So, I don't complain if it doesn't rain or snow.
Yeah, that's true.
It's coming.
Okay, any other old business? Any new business? You got anything?
Where are we with potential extra members? Are we any takers? Anybody showed any interest whatsoever? Having more board members?
I'm looking for recommendations.
Okay.
Okay.
We just,
And we just need what?
3, 4,
One?
5, 6.
We need one person for
One,
sure.
right.
We're supposed to have,
And then we will be looking at elections next year,
yes.
for, president, vice president, all that. So,
Yes.
we'll review who we have on listed as members. I think we're at 8.
Yeah, we're at 8 is, I'm pretty sure, I think that's what I counted when I emailed you all over the weekend. Brain is mush.
Well, you got 6 here, you're missing Lauren and Jeff.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So it's just
That's it.
one vacant position. Of course, there's the 2 advisory roles for high school students. If anybody knows anybody that wants some hours, we'd be happy to sign off on that. But
Is there any recommendations for anybody to join this lovely group?
I mean, I'll blast it in the new year on social media that we're looking for another member. I haven't really put it out there right now just because of the holiday season.
Correct.
I didn't want to try to build momentum with them, then lose it when we don't meet in December and things. So I just kind of held off from putting it out there on the social media pages until the new year.
Wait till January.
Wait till January.
Yeah.
And we got one person who is interested, but again, get through the holidays first before we go back to that person and say, yeah, we do need you out there.
What kind of qualifications?
Yeah, just live in the city.
They have to be a
That's
city
it?
resident.
Heartbeat, live in the city?
A heartbeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Mainly, I mean, you want somebody that's going to be active. I mean,
It seems when most of us joined, we all had a purpose. Like my main concern was the pool at the time. His was Main Street Park. You know what I mean? We all had, Lauren joined because of the skateboard park, and that was a big push. So everybody had a
Their own little
purpose. Now it's
projects.
like we've changed direction, but we're going in a really good
Right, I was
direction
gonna say, we're going in a good
with
direction.
what's happening in the city park. So we're all behind it.
Right.
So whoever we get, it's got to be somebody who's
Who's behind?
an outdoorsy person who is wanting to
Kind of have an idea.
be involved. Yeah.
everybody's going to have something different that they bring to the table. There are different motivations for why they care about parks and recreation. So yeah, just making sure that they live within the city limits is the key, because we are an extension of the city board. But the process is they'll be appointed by the mayor officially, so,
Okay.
and the board of aldermen. So
I was never sworn in.
there's not really a swear in.
You get approved by the board, and you're in.
Yeah, it goes on our consent agenda at the board of aldermen. We approve it. So.
We'll bless you a little while. Okay, any other new business? Any other business?
Motion to adjourn.
Oh, I'm sorry, I do have one more
Too late.
thing.
That's all good.
Just to double check with you all, Chamber reached out to see if Parks would be interested in participating again next year in their leadership course. That was the community cleanup day that they did. I'm not sure if it'd be a cleanup day or kind of a behind the scenes for Parks, but they were just happened to reach out to us and everybody that they worked with, I guess everybody that they worked with this past year, to see who would be interested in hosting again next year. I don't mind doing it again. I just wanted to run it by you.
It seemed like it was a big hit.
So
from what
I think it'd be a
From
good
what I
idea.
heard.
So, just making sure that there wasn't any. We'll talk to Steve and them to make sure what involvement there.
That was in July, wasn't it?
It was in September. I don't know that it'd be September next
We're in
year.
session
It'd be wherever they work it in.
Because they do one place a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it kind of depends too on who else they have doing it and what their schedules can allow for, so. But if there's no opposition, then I'll let them know that we'll be on board in some capacity. Okay. That's all I have then.
You should know better.
Okay. All right, and
Motion to adjourn.
motion to adjourn, do we have a second?
Second.
Any question? All those in favor?
All right, another successful meeting.
Opposed? All right.